So who this is for busy wellness pros who might be healers, practitioners, teachers, therapists, doctors, guides, gurus who want to streamline their unique wisdom to multiply their impact and their profit by simplifying their business to guide life-changing results faster for their clients while deepening integrity with their wellness wisdom. So the problem for wellness pros is that you become successful and too busy of the wrong business model for your own personal wellness lifestyle design, for real wealth and for committed clients to get real results. And there's a bunch of issues here that we're going to get into and how to reverse that. So burnout, you risking your own burnout as a wellness pro versus a lifestyle business design, becoming too involved in online marketing, which is incredibly complex and only becoming more complex and data driven, socializing and social because you're avoiding higher tickets, going in alone versus with a community of colleagues, and finally, and guessing your way through it versus guidance. So this is for wellness pros who want a whole life upgrade, who want to grow impact, who want to grow profit, and who want to lean from their own personal wellness lifestyle while not devoting their career to marketing campaigns, social media, and buying ads. So it's for busy wellness pros and their personal health, their core relationships, and for your clients, for you to model the way. Because busy means that your business model didn't scale with you. And that's not a problem as long as you know about the economic value ladder. So this is really cool. This comes from econ, like economics 101. So this is the progression of economic value. The pricing goes from low commodity pricing to high premium pricing, and value goes from low to high as well. So where most wellness pros are stuck is they're in delivering a service or a staged experience, whether that's classes or consultations or retreats or delivering workshops, that sort of thing. And really where the high premium, high value is in guided transformation. So what I'm going to bring you in today is how at Wellness Pro Academy, we guide wellness pros to guide transformation. And we have a club, and our club is for wellness pros. And within the club, what we do is we guide wellness pros into the club business model. So we model the way ourselves. And I also model the way at clubthrive.global as a wellness pro for our own members who are seeking to feel a heck of a lot better in their bodies and thrive in their life. So we do both. So why a club business model? This is me at my house with my club. And clubs can look a number of different ways. I'm going to show you in this presentation a little bit about how clubs actually look and the level of connection and intimacy and depth and engagement that happens in a club-based wellness model for wellness pros. So the first problem within the business model problem is that wellness pros who are doing consultations and courses and classes, you just simply run out of time. It's hard to scale your impact when you're doing all these things and they're all on the lower dollar side. So here's Betsy. She was doing this, and then she was as a licensed psychologist and a thought leader, and then she switched to the club model. Here's Patrick. He was teaching yoga classes after, and he switched to the club model. Here's Romy. Romy's 60, and when she switched to our club model, she was able to actually take her career on the road, which is what she and her husband, who were in the retirement phase of their lives, what they wanted to do. And she didn't want to give up her purpose-driven work. Here's Alexis, also a therapist who wanted to stop seeing clients in that one-on-one counselor model. And these are all people we've helped with the club model. Here's Alexis in Germany. I'm sorry, Alexandra in Germany. And what you'll see is that people really get to do it their way. Here's me in Berlin with Alexis. So this is one of the things that with Alex. So this is one of the things that we really encourage is not just having everything online, but also doing live meetups in places that you want to be. Here's Jeff McKenzie. He's also a yoga teacher, meditation teacher, and he's also switched to the club model. So it works for all different people. We've got doctors, nurses, physical therapists, personal trainers, healers, witches. I mean, like the whole range can work for wellness pros who want to guide people to results. So the second real issue is that wellness pros, we want a real wealth lifestyle, and we also want real wealth. And in order to do that, we have to avoid our own burnout. What I mean by a real wealth lifestyle is that when people have a certain amount of wealth, they tend to buy back their time. and they tend to improve their space and improve their quality of life. And that's what I find wellness pros really want. It's like we want time for our practices. We want the kind of money to invest in our ongoing life learning process and the teachers and the gurus and guides we want to spend the most time with. We want to vacation in nice places. We want to retire someday potentially, or at least work in a way that we have a lot of control over our time and our day-to-day life experience. And that's really what this club model is all about. Here's Emily. She's our Ayurvedic and astrology practitioner. And when she started working with us, here she is at our alignment in Mexico. She was actually able to transition from like a full practice schedule, consultations, classes, retreats, into working like an 8-hour work week and making the same amount of money. So some people are super ambitious and they want to work and make a lot of money, and other people just actually want to scale back and get their lifestyle back. And we have no judgment around whatever you want to do for you. So the third problem with the business model is that unfortunately it doesn't work as well for clients, and the results are ambiguous. And to me, this is really what it guides me to lead the Wellness Pro Academy, is because I actually really care that our global population gets healthier, that will have a better experience in their body. And if our wellness pros aren't leading the way because they have the wrong business model that's not actually getting clients to results, to guaranteed committed results, then to me, we have a big problem. And what we know is like right now is like people have a lot of deep changes to make. And the typical person has a ton of negative stressors. They've got health issues. They have habits that are actually degenerating their physiology. These habits often include snacking or eating too much too late and too sedentary, too much convenience. You guys all know what things are. People are making short-term decisions and not really aiming towards their long-term health. They're worrying, they're in negative thinking, they're sacrificing their sleep. And over time, even over a course of the year, people's health can get significantly worse. And there's a tremendous cost to this. There's a cost to an inflammatory diet and lifestyle. Negative stressors are simply habits that cause distress to the physiology. It's supposed to use stress. It's supposed to positive stressors or habits that make people stronger. And what we find is that there's just an enormous cost. There's actually a ton of money that people can invest in what they really want, which is to feel great. And these hidden costs are all over the place, doing, how much people are wasting food, eating out, drinking, retail therapy, just buying stuff that they don't need because they're distracted, or even hitting an income plateau. There's actually incredible research. Forbes articles actually pointing to this research showing that women that are 15 pounds overweight sacrifice $9,000 of income a year. So there's a huge, huge cost to people not feeling great. And what we find is that if wellness pros aren't leading according to the economic value ladder towards a guided transformation and leading a journey or leading a club towards transformation, what happens is that people are just up against too much stress, and it's leading to accelerated aging and poor health. One of the big issues with that is like people don't know, and often wellness pros don't really know, how do you get from A to B? How do you get people to better results faster? And I'm just going to show like this is one of our members, and she's just going through her before after pictures. So she's showing that in 2019 here, that's in the pink outfit right here. She was at her heaviest. And over the course of a year, she's just feeling amazing. And seen by 2022 or 2021 over here, she's just absolutely feeling amazing and great. And what we find is that once people realize like how good they can feel again by being guided through a club, that they're just super excited. And the two of us, we actually got to meet last month. So positive stressors is the way that we guide wellness pros to guide their clubs. And positive stressor habits, these are the habits of longevity. Habits may include whatever habits are working for you, first of all, as a wellness pro. And we'll teach you the ones that there's a lot of research on, even from allopathic research on things like intermittent fasting, fitness, detox, nutrition, purposeful living, breathing, meditation, sleep, and how we get people to make changes in real time is by going on the journey and being enrolled in your club. So this is the thing about a journey is that, and I love this. And this is about the Odyssey and Odysseus. So Odysseus wouldn't be Odysseus unless he went on the Odyssey. And that's really what joining your club will be all about, in guiding people to results. and doing it your way. So your club's potential is really based on your unique ability, which is based on your personality and your expertise. It's based on how you want to guide to result, which is based on your leadership skills and your expertise. And these are all things we teach in club. We guide you in club to get better at being a better guide for your members, and how you uniquely lead, which is a mix between your personality and your leadership skills. And this really does look different for every wellness pro leading a club. So what we know is that the reason people don't get to results is that our structure as wellness pros doesn't guide people in a journey through the breakdown where they need next level competencies in order to have the breakthroughs, in order to overcome the next level challenges and the obstacles, and then to actually have a breakdown again. Because if you look back on your own wellness journey, what you might realize is that you've had a series of breakdowns and breakthroughs along the way, and that you in your own wellness training were in a longer committed experience. You were in a club of itself. Maybe it was a training, maybe it was a course, maybe it was a certification. But right now, people are so overwhelmed with courses, they don't want more information. Really, what they want is transformation. And they want you as the person they trust to guide the way. So about me, hi, I'm Kate Stillman. I've been a wellness pro since 1998. I grew yogahealer.com to over 7 figures using the club model. And we model the way both for wellness pros and for people who want to thrive in their bodies and their lives. What we do, our main way we do this is we grow leaders, and we're super purpose driven. So the reason we do this is we want wellness pros to thrive. I firmly believe that as a wellness pro, if you're not thriving, like, our communities are screwed. Really, like, we feed our wellness pros to have a wellness driven lifestyle. And if you're leading from your wellness driven lifestyle, if you have a business model that's set up for you to lead from your wellness business lifestyle, from your wellness lifestyle, then the world is going to be a much better place, and you're going to have a much better impact on your members. So a little bit more about me. I've been leading from a wellness lifestyle driven business model since 2001. I live in gorgeous areas. I've been able to invest significantly from having a very high profit margin in the club-based model. But I'm also a mother, a wife. I have a daughter just started high school, and my parents live a mile away. I'm a sister to my siblings. One of my siblings lives a mile away. And, this is just part of life, right? Like, we gotta have our full lives, and we want to be leaders in our communities as well. So my background as wellness pros, Ayurvedic medicine, yoga, meditation. And from there, I really went into helping wellness pros by being more of an entrepreneur and a coach, and also scaling the club model at clubthrive.global. So I'm really into wisdom-based revenue. I'm not into selling products. I'm not anti-product. If you sell products, but for me personally, I wanted to keep my carbon emissions really low. So we don't do products, and we have a super low waste business, and we've been running the club model since 2007. I'm also an author, so I've written a few books along the way on the wellness pro side. Body Thrive is my first book. Master of You was my second book. My third book was Six-Figure Yoga Teacher, and Unaflamed is my fourth book. I've also been a podcaster on the wellness side and the wellness pro side. So intermittent fasting, on gut immune connection. These are some most recent episodes that I really enjoyed doing. Involved men with Angus. And we've been running this club business model for a long time. And the reason why is because our members get results. Why? Because they invest for a year. And this is the club model that we teach wellness pros, because your members need to be invested for a year in order to have those breakdowns and breakthroughs. We want you to leverage dynamic groups, because groups get results a lot faster than you working one-on-one with individuals. You can also have a VIP level where you add one-on-one as well as the group work. But what we know is that when members connect with other members, that results happen faster. And we want you to be able to leverage your time as well, so that you can have your wellness lifestyle, that you're not in the middle of everyone connecting on their own wellness journey, but that you build a structure for your members to evolve. And we want access to live coaching. And this is what really we find people are so information saturated, and what they really want is to be part of something bigger. And for you, this means a recurring revenue model through retention. So it's all based on your members wanting to stay part of your club. And that's really what we do at Wellness Pro Academy. So the deal is this: when people are in a club, they can get from chronic health issues to feeling good. They can get over the habits that are causing their chronic pain, that are making them tired, overweight, having trouble focusing, being inflamed, being puffy, waking up groggy. And in a year, you can guide members to being pain-free, energetic, lean, clean, having strong digestion, focused and relaxed. We've seen this time and again. And while doing that core group, it can really work for your lifestyle. This is Hannah. Hannah, she had a goal. She was a yoga teacher and an artist, a pottery artist, and she had a goal of $160,000 when she wrote on her bathroom mirror. This is her website, her well-being, and this is her club. Her club is called the Vitality Circle. And you can see here she is, her Vitality Circle is about 6K. And this has enabled her to hit that 160K in income. And as an artist and a healer, that's what she wanted. She didn't want to grow $1 million business. Some of you are like me and you do. The club model scales either way. So here we are. This is at an event, and I'll show you Emily in a minute. Emily, I showed you in the last one. She was our Ayurvedic astrologer. So wellness pros doing all different types of things. What we know is that clubs like to meet up live. I like to hold my club live meetups in places that I like to be. This is out my front door in my place in Mexico. And so that's where I lead my clubs, one of my club live meetup events. So clubs are often mostly online, but with live meetups in terms of the structure, but everyone does it different. Here's Bryn. Bryn also comes from yoga teaching background. This is she and I in Berlin. We got stuck on either side of the gate. Here she came to one of my, that was a live event we did in Lisbon. And what she found was that when she started with us at Wellness Pro Academy, she wasn't actually that ambitious, but she was just leaving a lot of money on the table. She was, had a great teacher training. That's where she brought in a lot of money, was through her yoga teacher training. Yoga teacher trainings often follow a bit of a club/certification model where your members are committed and invested. And all of her other yoga students, she didn't have this way of guiding them to better results faster with a more committed offering. And when she joined us first, she came she joined Wellness Pro Academy, showed up at Lisbon. Between Lisbon and the next live event that we had at my house, I believe she'd already sold somewhere around $30,000 in memberships and is on target to sell 20,000 more in the next 2 months. And this is really what we find, is that we actually activate ambition in people that didn't realize how much money they were leaving on the table while having so many great working parts of their business that was ready for the club model. So what we also find, like one of the big reasons that wellness pros don't shift to a club model or fail at it, is that they're avoiding sales. There's Bryn talking with David. David is also astrologer, Ayurvedic background. We tend to attract a lot of people from the yoga and Ayurveda backgrounds, but also mental health therapists, counselors, also people that are in nursing. And I think it's really interesting, doctors that want to transition, holistic doctors as well. And David found that he actually just didn't know how to sell. And that since joining Wellness Pro Academy, he's learned how to sell. And now he's also on target to have his best year ever. And that's really what we find, is that if we can get over the avoiding sales by engaging actively in how to have an awesome sales process that gets people really interested in what you're doing next, then all of a sudden you get your wellness pro lifestyle back. And that's really what we want. So again, like we're really into live events and online, and that mix of things is what really guides people to results. So this is the other problem that we find, is that most practitioners, most holistic wellness are actually by not having a club, that their members are going it more alone, and it's slower and it's isolating and they're missing the guidance. So people evolve faster in the right club. So your club will have a culture, and your culture, because it's based on wellness, your members will be more rested, more nourished, and more fit. And you're going to guide them into those habits. Whereas like the modern culture that's really influencing your members, from Bryn's yoga students to David's clients before he had, and Emily's clients before she had a club, bloated, overfed, overscheduled, inflamed, exhausted, overweight. And that's just really what's going on in modern culture. So what we teach at Wellness Pro Academy is how to get people to feeling great. And we do this by coaching people, by coaching our wellness pros and how to coach their habits. So what are the habits? What are the positive stressor habits that make the biggest difference? And chances are you're already doing this, but you're just not doing it in a business model where your members are super committed. And at a price point where they're going to show up to the live events and to your coaching. And chances are they're not committed over time. And it's that 1 year pass, not month to month payments, but like 1 year pass is going to make all the difference. All right. So how do we do that? And what are we really overcoming? Well, this is one of the issues, is that because people have chronic issues, that their habits are leading to chronic disease. This is actually just showing in the United States that the numbers are really no different in Canada right now, and quite a lot of industrialized nations and nations that are going towards industrialized, is that the percentage of people with chronic disease is somewhere between 50 and 80%. This one's actually outdated, and in US is actually getting closer to 80%. So this is really what we're trying to overcome in the club model, which is why I insist that wellness pros use the club model so that they can actually reverse the diseases that their people are headed toward. All right. So what does it actually look like to get coached into a club model? A lot of it does happen asynchronistically online. And then a lot of it happens in live meetups. So I'm just going to show you some of the images of some events for my members who are in either club or in Club Thrive. And what it looks like when we meet up. We do a lot of dynamic small group exercises that lead to massive breakthroughs. We spend time outside in beautiful places. We do a lot of small workshop events where we actually get to know each other and build really super strong relationships. And it's all based on what people really want next in their bodies, in their families, and in their lives. And this is what it looks like. It looks like intimacy and connection. It looks like intergenerational relationships, because that's what my clubs is really based on. Your club will look like how you are going to do it. And I will guide you to, if at the end of this, I'll invite you to actually have a coaching session with one of our wellness pros. And in our wellness pro coaching session, we'll actually help you structure your path and doing it your way with your club. So all clubs look different. All club members look different. We have huge intergenerational spread. Here's Aaron and Juliet and Terry. So I think, yeah, I mean, ages like 30 to late 70s. Like every club looks different mix of people. Some are large and female, some are all men. Different things that you do at your live meetups or when your members get together. Sometimes I supply all the food just to keep people together, and sometimes I don't, depending on where we are and what we're doing. But what we know is that people form really close relationships from the club. And in your club, you get to do it your way with your agenda. And that to me is it's really the most important thing, is that you really get in business. Like you get to design the experience. Sometimes I do a lot of lecturing and sometimes I do a lot of laser coaching. So you really get to do what you do best. This was from an event I did in New York with our club members. And again, I'm just kind of showing you a bit of like what it feels like and what it looks like. So if this sounds like you and you want to transition from consultation to club and you want to grow your wellness career quickly, you can do so. And my team will actually personally help you. And what's so fun about this is that in the timeline for club, what we do, the way that we do it at Wellness Pro Academy is the club at Yoda and Wellness Pro Academy is a 1 year. It takes us 1 year to fully transition wellness pros into the club model. But you can see just in the first 6 weeks, which is the core training from the program, and the rest of the time you're just implementing the training from the first 6 weeks. So there's not a year of training. It's just 6 weeks of training. And then it's implementation with our support. And in this, what you get to do is like week 1, your club offer, your niche, your message. Week 2, your club logistics, your schedule, your timelines. You're going to move quickly through this or as quickly as you want. Week 3, how do you actually sell? Like how we get you over those sales issues and how we get you closing your first members. Week 4, simple systems for weekly leads, how you actually can sell out your club, because that's really what we want, is you to be able to scale your impact. And if your club's not full, you won't scale your impact. And then how to get to your members to results faster. So this is part done for you. We actually show you how we do this. You get access to how we do this with our members to share with your members if you want, if that saves you time and gets you closing your first members more quickly. Then you're welcome to use our done for you stuff. By no means do you have to do that. We're really into you as a wellness pro guiding your members with your own content, but keeping that content to a minimum, knowing it's that your coaching and your group connection that's really going to get members to resolve a lot faster. And then having scaled with streamlined systems. And that's really the timeline for clubs. So it's not this long program for you to shift into a club model. And what we find is that, it takes about a year for people to start to really leverage the system in full, where they're super relaxed. And so with Club, it's a 10K investment. It's designed for ROI of 50K within 3 months and 100K within 12 months. And that's, for people who you're already working with people. Again, you can try and go it alone, but the problem is it's hard when you don't know exactly how to do it. It costs time and money and energy. And unfortunately, failure is a lot more likely the longer it takes you to implement real change. You can start to doubt yourself and it's no fun. Honestly, it's like so much more fun. You can see from our member slides, like people have so much fun when they meet up and they're all using the same club model. And what happens is you start to actually get to results faster. And then when you don't, what we find is that people really struggle and they often quit, even when they're actually maybe even pretty close to a breakthrough. So if you want to check out Club, I invite you to do that. So we have a proven system. You get to earn while you learn. It's a huge part of our methodology. Again, we want you earning while you learn so that within the first 3 months of being in Club, you're getting a return on investment. We want you to meet wisdom driven colleagues because that's a huge part of Wellness Pro Academy. There's amazing healers. There's amazing wellness wisdom within our club members. And it's very diverse in terms of what our members actually know, how they guide their members to success. And we want to spark your ambition because we want you to have a wellness driven lifestyle, but we also want you to be ambitious in your wellness career because people really need your health right now. Your clients need results right now. And it's not that hard, we find, for you to actually double your profits. One of the ways we do this is we set you up with what I call the 4 sets. This is part of my methodology in Wellness Pro Academy. Your mindset, your tool set, your skill set, and your people set, and helping you identify exactly what's in these 4 sets so that you actually rewire your mindset, people set, tool set, and skill set to run your profitable and rewarding club. So that's what we do at Wellness Pro Academy. If you want the next steps, what you're going to do is schedule a 45-minute Wellness Pro coaching session. You can do this on Zoom or on your phone. And what we're going to do in that session is we're going to assess your situation and your income target. We're going to see if the club model will work for you. It may or may not, and we'll figure that out with you in that session. If it will work, we're going to map out an action plan for you to hit your target. And what people find is that this is the most valuable 45 minutes that they put into their wellness career of the year. So what you're going to do is you are just going to click the button and schedule and answer a couple questions so that we know a little bit about you going into the session. You'll either connect with Lori or Anna or Kelly. They're all absolutely amazing and thoroughly understand the club model. And again, who it's for is if you really, really want to guide your people to life-changing results faster, and you're good at what you do, and you want to earn more profit. So if that's you, then that's really what this is all about. All right, go ahead and schedule your session. And that's really where we begin. What are you waiting for?